Welcome back. Now for the conclusion to our story, bad air, bad health.
And today also the Utah Division of Air Quality has issued a mandatory action that...
They said the air today equivalent to smoking a half a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, great, I might as well start again.
One way you can help clean up the air, besides driving less, is by dropping your thermostat a degree or two.
One of the things we know is that politicians, legislators, policymakers, they respond to the citizens. And so the more citizens speak up about air quality, the more we'll get changes. Now, we need the policymakers to study and understand changes that are important and what the costs and benefits are. But the message we need to be sending the policymakers is that everybody recognizes that air pollution is bad for human health, it's bad for our economy, it's bad for our quality of life, and it's something that we want to try to address.
If our federal and state representatives continue to favor corporations over people, then we must take steps to act individually. Act to reduce our emissions and act to protect ourselves from those emissions.
I would just ask everyone to at least do a little thing. Don't idle when you're waiting to pick up your kids. Please, everyone, just do their part for all the kids that struggle to breathe, and it will make a difference if everyone does something little.
There are two approaches for those watching to help mitigate the dangers of bad air. The first is, obviously, to create less bad air. But in the meantime, until the air improves, we must educate ourselves and make good decisions about exposure.
I think not playing outside when the air quality is particularly bad is an important issue. I think our high school sports teams should not be practicing when ozone is high in the summer. But there are many personal changes you can make, personal adjustments you can make to decrease your risk. You exercise in the morning instead of in the afternoon. When we have inversions in the winter, yeah, you cross-train. You don't go out and run by the roadside when it's bad. The schools are paying attention in terms of having recess indoors. So I think you want to pay attention and follow those recommendations.
Air pollution is a slow and silent killer. Evaluating the cost to your health on a daily or monthly basis is difficult, but be assured, it's happening. But bad air is also bad for our economic health. Missed work days, missed school days, and the cost of health care adds insult to literal injury.
Every time he's hospitalized, we owe thousands of dollars to the hospital. He was life flighted to Primary Children's one time, and that alone was thousands of dollars, just the life flight. That didn't even cover the hospital stay. And so it gets very expensive.
If the economic argument doesn't matter to you, and if you haven't had a loved one affected by bad air, just wait. It's not a matter of if, but when.
There's an enormous, very personal human cost to our poor air quality. You know, when someone comes in and says, yes, my husband had a heart attack in the midst of the inversion, that's a huge deal. And we need to recognize the contribution air pollution makes to all of this.
What will it take to drive less? What will it take for people to vote for politicians that care about air quality? What will it take to clean the skies above?
It makes me more angry when I see the little things that people do, the cars idling, and just, you know, they put it out there on the news, red burn days, but it seems like everyone ignores it unless it affects them personally. But if you see a face of a child that it's affecting, maybe that will help you understand that it is a real issue.
Each of us makes a contribution to our airshed and contributes to the pollution. As we try to improve things, we have to realize it's going to take something from everybody. It's going to take smart regulation. It's going to take improved technology with better cars, better fuel. It's going to take people thinking about their homes and how they run their heat and what they're doing in their homes. the vehicles they choose to drive. We're all in this together. Now, that doesn't mean we should let off the regulators. They need to be playing a very active and important role, but it's going to be a combination of regulation, economic changes. We need to have incentives that make it favorable for folks to emit less, to drive cleaner cars, and we need to have kind of a cultural change. There's nothing more effective than your kid telling you, put that cigarette out because it's disgusting. We want the kids also saying, Mom, Dad, don't idle because it's fouling the air.
With politics polarized, it's difficult to get opposing sides of the aisle to agree on much. But can we all agree that clean air is common ground? Can we agree that when big business complains that regulations hurt their investors, that we say with one voice that air quality is more important than profit? We reap what we sow. When your baby is born premature or underweight, when your infant has fluid in their lungs, when your grandpa has a heart attack, who will you blame? Science has proven the effect that air pollution has on human health. What effect will you have on air pollution?
A lot of people move to Utah or remain in Utah because of their love for the outdoors and recreation. It's ironic that Salt Lake has some of the worst air quality in the entire country. If the pollution gets much worse, it may affect the quality of life to an extent that it's not even considered a city known for recreation, but an industrial center that must be escaped to have fun outdoors. Now, on the sunnier side, we'll be right back. Come with us as we float a portion of the Green River through Labyrinth Canyon.